So, is the Xmax Starry V4 any good? Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm really glad you're here. If this is your first time with me, my name's Drew. I'm a medical gardening patient who reviews dry herb vaporizers, e-rigs, and other gardening tech, and I'm really glad that you're here. Okay, let's dive in to the Xmax Starry V4. All right, let's run through the specs of the Xmax Starry V4. This is a conduction style dry herb vaporizer with a ceramic oven that heats up in about 20 seconds, give or take. You've got a wide temperature range from 212 to 464 degrees Fahrenheit, and all of that information is displayed on a flippable OLED screen. The mouthpiece is magnetic zirconia and the airflow is also adjustable. The whole thing is powered by a replaceable 18650 battery, and you can charge that via USB-C. It's slim, pocket friendly, and it works with dosing capsules if you want a cleaner session. And all of that comes in at an MSRP of around $99, but you can usually find it between $64.95 and $79 USD, depending on sales and availability. Okay, so now that I've run you through all the specs of this device, let's talk about the things I really like. Then we're gonna talk about the things I don't like about it, and I'll give you my final recommendations on it. But let's start with the things I like. I personally think this magnetic mouthpiece is well built and well designed. It's got a strong magnet, and when I shake it, I don't feel like it's gonna fly off, or when I throw it in my pocket, it's not gonna fall off. But it's not a beast to get off at all. I enjoy that. Another thing I really think is cool about this is the straw mouthpiece. You know, as a guy who loves and enjoys a few of his Storz & Bickel devices, I really appreciate that. I think that's really cool. I think also another thing about this is it's pretty discreet, very, very small, and can fit in your pocket well. It's also got some features that would be reserved for a more expensive device, like adjustable airflow. I think that's a really cool feature to have on a device at this price. Onboard temperature adjustment, I'm always a fan of that. I don't want to have to connect to an app to use my device if I don't have to. And obviously a replaceable 18650 battery is huge. I think that's a really, really good thing for a device at this price point. Means it will last you a while if you use it a lot and you need to replace the battery. You don't have to get a new unit. That's all really, really good. Let's talk about the things I don't like. Oh wait, one more thing I liked about it is the actual chamber size. I don't know if you can see that. It's a pretty good size, and it's deep, and it's all ceramic, which is cool. It doesn't have convection, it's only conduction, and I think that'll kind of lead into some of the things I don't like about it. Let's talk about things I don't really like. With all these slews of features at this price point, I think it kind of misses the mark on performance. You can get decent extraction off of it, and I mean that, like, I want to really emphasize the word decent, and you will get okay vapor from it. But if you're trying to rip massive tasty clouds off of this, or you're trying to really get the most out of your herb, I'm not sure this is going to be the device for you. It performs, but this would be about the baseline of performance I would suggest for anyone using a dry herb vaporizer. Now, having said that, if like size is an important thing for you, being able to pocket it, maybe you're willing to sacrifice a little performance so that you can have a nice discreet package. That makes sense, but overall, it's just not killing it on vapor and performance, which I think is what matters the most. And it's got all these extra features, which I appreciate, but at this price point, I wish the money would have been spent giving it better performance, maybe adding in another way to heat it, like convection instead of just conduction, and making that chamber roast the herb better. Now, it's not terrible. I'm not saying it's awful. I'm not saying it's the worst vaporizer I've ever used, but it would be at the bottom of what I would recommend for someone starting out in vaporizing. Or if you've already got a vaporizer that performs well, I would not suggest this unless you need something that is very, very pocketable. And it does excel at that. So let's talk about my recommendations for this. Okay, so my final thoughts. Overall, it's an okay vaporizer. Like I said before, it works decently well. And if you want a really okay experience at a pretty low price point, this is an okay option for that. And I would recommend it for anyone who wants to get into dry herb vaping, but really doesn't want to spend any money, a lot of money. Having said that though, if you were to ask me which one should you get, the Xmax V3 Pro or the Starry V4, I'm gonna say the Xmax V3 Pro. It does a better job overall, and it's not much more expensive. I would tell you save your pennies and get this one over this one. The only way I would recommend this device, the Xmax, the Starry V4 over the V3 Pro, it's a lot of names. The only way I would recommend this one over this one is if size and really matters to you. As you can tell, the V3 Pro is much bigger than the Starry V4. This will fit in your pocket and you'll probably forget it's there. It feels almost like a really small battery pack or something like that. And if you need something that's really, really pocketable and really stays out of the way, this is gonna do a better job in that regard. But this thing with performance, this is gonna win out every single time. It's a little bit more money, but what you get is a lot more performance, and you still get a replaceable battery, you still get a screen, you still get a magnetic mouthpiece, and it's just really, really solid. So should you get it? Only if you really need something that's going to fit in your pocket, and that's like of utmost importance, or if you want to get the cheapest dry herb vaporizer you possibly can that's still relatively effective, I would suggest the Starry V4 for you if that's the case. But overall, I recommend the V3 Pro. So yeah, what do you think? Is the Xmax Starry V4 worth it, or should you go with the V3 Pro? My opinion is go with the V3 Pro, but what do you think? Anyways, if you really want to dive in a little deeper onto this device, I've got it linked in the description below. You can go to my website, dryherbvapezone.com, or you can hit the link in the description below. It'll take you right to the review, and you can check it out and see if it's something you want to invest in and get. Also, I'll leave the review for the V3 Pro in the description as well, so you can check that out and compare them both. But yeah, as always, thank you for hanging out with me, and we'll see you next time.